Every day, usually in the morning, about 5 a.m., we release our Central Indiana Scoreboard Show. And if you haven't been listening, man, are you missing a great podcast. Right, Susie? We have Pacers Fever, Colts, IU, Purdue, Butler, Ball State, IndyCar, major national sports news, and, of course, the best high school sports coverage in Central Indiana. Anything Central Indiana sports fans are concerned about, that's what we're talking about. Please join us every morning. What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report, podcast number 301.5, our reaction to the Pacers' 108-91 blowout of the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I was joined by our NBA guy, John Robertson, our national sports guy, Will Rutherford, Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader sports editor Michelle Garmon, and from the Fieldhouse, our Pacers guy, Mike Rich, who may have had a drink or two. Warning, there's definitely some adult language in this podcast.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, Pacers fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report, and as John Robertson said, what a game tonight. Final score, Indiana Pacers 108, Oklahoma City Thunder 91, and John, for the first time ever, the Indiana Pacers are one win away from the NBA championship. Welcome, John Robertson, to the Central Indiana Sports Report.
Thanks for having me. As always, Greg, great night. Happy to be here. After Game 4, we said it's just a 3-game series, and if anybody can pull off 2 of 3 with both 2 of them on the road, it could be this team. We've done what we needed to do in getting the one in our house. We got the one in our house, so now it's a 1-game series. It's literally a 1-game for all of it. And,
doesn't matter where it's being played either, does it?
Yeah, I think that the Pacers can win on the road. The Pacers have shown they can win on the road. I do think that Oklahoma City is going to have the edge with the crowd and everything, but I do think the Pacers have shown they can. You look at last season, they won Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. They won lots of games on the road this playoffs. So if anybody's been tested and proven they can do it, I think it's this team. I think it's going to be hard, but I think it's this team.
And we welcome Will Rutherford. Will, take it away.
Just absolutely belt-to-ass performance tonight. I mean, just bent the kids over their knee and gave them a good licking is what tonight was. The Thunder just completely got outplayed. Like the Pacers just, in all facets of the game, just completely outplayed them. This is exactly what this team needed. They're rolling all the momentum now going into Game 7. I think it's 50-50 because it's at home, but based on tonight's performance, if this was on a neutral court, I'd say Pacers 60-40. I think just based on how they played, I love the defensive adjustments they made. Their help side defense was great. The rotations were really excellent. Flawless, even could be said, for most of the game. Just feels good to get one on your home court, defend home court, and while I said a few times, I thought this series was over, they just get me hook, line, and sinker again. It's not over. This team can absolutely win Game 7 on the road, and it's just so great this is happening.
Don't expect it, but there's no doubt that it could happen.
Absolutely can. I had in my notes, and Will kind of hit on some of the things that I wanted to bring up, like the one, not to be a Debbie Downer, right? But let's look at the track record of the Pacers when they've had a big win like this, when they've really crushed somebody. What's the following game like? You would love to say the momentum's with them and that they're going to win it because of it, but what their track record is the exact opposite. They have a big win and they come out flat the next game. I hope they figured that out.
John, they're 3-1 in closeout games.
Okay, well, that's fair. There's multiple stats to look at. I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep myself emotionally level, right? I don't want to get all high off this win with momentum and then be super crushed. I love the energy, Will. I hope you're right. I truly hope you're right. But they've been flat after a big. Like I almost would have preferred like win by 7 or 8, so because then they usually come back
You
better.
felt
But
like they were using it up, didn't you?
yeah, but I mean, think about. I'm trying to think of. I can't remember which specific game it was, but I know we had a couple of these, and at least one in the Cleveland series and one in the New York series. And if you look at the Thunder's response to getting beat just really badly by the Timberwolves, their track record after taking a big loss is to come back and play incredibly well. So like both those things make me
Nuggets too.
both of those things
They
make
did.
me nervous. Yeah.
They did
But
that, but all the losses to the Nuggets, they came back the next game and were really good.
so yes, I want to believe Pacers have momentum. I do believe Pacers can win, absolutely win Game 7, and I think they've got history that proves that they can win Game 7. But both of those statistics make me nervous.
Well, I do think I will counter with this. The game two in that Cleveland series, that game three when they came back home and lost, like that was the game winning shot. You know, like that was a complete, I think, emotional, just like um stimulus that just got hit and where they just had nothing for game three. I don't think it's probably fair to say that was just such a moment that it felt like beyond that the game three ultimate letdown felt like it was going to happen. And then in New York, I mean, they played okay and I mean, they lost game three, but they really outplayed New York for 45 minutes of that game too. I mean, I think that it's one of those where they have all the momentum, but like the Thunder just looked lost tonight. And I like in a way that you just don't see championship teams when they can go clinch a game. They just looked completely lost in a way that, I mean, they were just sloppy with the ball.
In a way
It
that gives
looked
you hope.
Yeah,
because I think the Pacers may have cracked the code of like how do you rotate on this team with the shooting. I mean, they
said
did a
all
really good
along.
job of.
like
We said all along, the longer this thing goes, the more advantage the Pacers have proven that they have in a series. Before we move on, let's introduce Michelle real fast. And Michelle, win or lose on Sunday, man, this team has just been a joy to watch, haven't they?
Oh, they have. They just play team basketball, and I think that's what makes them so fun. And it becomes extra fun when the bench gets in and scores a lot, like they did tonight, and have done in a couple of other games. Um, it'll be interesting. Will Thunder look lost? I wonder if some of it was because they shot so poorly tonight. I mean, they really shot real poorly, and but they will be. The one thing is, I wish, in some ways, I wish Game 7 was back at Gamebridge because I think the Thunder will feed off their crowd a little bit. Um, so that's a little bit of a concern, but I do like the Pacers. They are good on the road. You know, in every
Michelle, we
series.
have a guest.
Oh,
We
sorry.
have a guest
We have
coming
Mike.
live
Yes.
from the Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis. Michael Rich, how's it going down there?
Just gave away one of my Pacers shirts.
This
Welcome,
guy.
Mike Rich. What's it like down there?
What a fucking experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is fucking awesome.
I bet that was worth $1,000, wasn't it?
It was well worth it. I'm with Alan Hatfield having the best time of my freaking life right now in sports.
Hey, Alan.
Oh
Nice
my
job, fellas.
God.
We can hear it. We can hear the celebration behind you.
Oh, it's fucking nuts, man. It is nuts. I don't want to take over the whole freaking podcast, but what a fucking amazing game. Oh my God. We were at the top of the freaking, I mean, we were at the very top of the arena. Like I said, I could, if John was there, I could probably touch him where I was at.
I hope you said hi.
But my
my brother,
God,
works in the rafters at the field house. By the way, for those who don't know.
yeah, just a fantastic experience. The energy was freaking awesome. I don't have a voice. I did not sit down in my seat that I paid for tonight. All I did was stand and scream and yell and drink fucking beer.
Nice.
Hey,
How
Mike.
many? How many?
I stopped drinking at halftime, so I stopped counting. Let's go!
Just one more, Mike. And again, Indiana deserves this so much more than Oklahoma does.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't even looked at the box score. All I could do is scream every time a basket went in by a Pacer, every time they blocked a shot or stole the ball. I mean, it was freaking electric here. It was just so freaking awesome. So, but God, the electricity and the atmosphere of that place was freaking. It is a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, it was just freaking amazing.
I'm so
I went
glad you
in.
got to experience it, Mike.
I went in thinking, gosh, the worst thing that can happen is I watch OKC get the freaking confetti thrown on them. They get the O'Brien trophy in our house. And I was just like so proud of this team to defend their home court the way they did, the way they played, the way they came out. Nemhard was awesome. Pascal was awesome. What Halliburton did, Obi Toppin was freaking amazing.
Legendary,
I mean,
legendary
for
Halliburton night.
Halliburton to come out and score what I think it was 13 points tonight,
14,
just
yeah.
gee, I mean, and not to have to play in the fourth quarter. He didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. We played that well. I mean, uh, I, I know it's going to be hard in OKC, but shit, Sunday's going to be fun to watch, no
Oh,
matter
it's going to
what.
be so much fun, guys. Cannot wait. Mike, hey,
I
thanks
love.
for joining us. Go have
Yep.
fun. And we will talk in the next couple of days on the Pacers report
All right.
about more about your experience.
Yep. Love all my Pacer fans. Love
Love
this
you,
crew.
Mike.
All right. Take care, guys. Going that way, aren't we?
Bye, Mike. Have a great
And
rest of your night.
Thanks,
and that
Michelle.
of course was Mike Rich, our Pacers guy, coming to you from downtown Indianapolis, where he was rightfully celebrating a Pacers victory, guys. Like I said to Michelle, no matter what happens from here, and yeah, I really like their chances, but no matter what happens from here, this has been such a great ride.
I was thinking about that tonight. You know, I think if they had lost tonight, I would have been disappointed. Like, it would have been a great season, but I think it would have been like a kind of a bitter pill to swallow. But I think now, no matter what happens on Sunday, you're gonna celebrate and be like, we took this team to 7 when they told us we were gonna get swept, right? Like, you know, even if they lose, which I mean, I think they've got a good shot to do it to win. I still think you have to be happy with the season and happy with this team and super proud of their effort.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, I
I
think
agree. I agree. And I think one thing I'm interested that maybe the Pacers have in their favor is in every one of these playoff series this year, they have won a back-to-back game except for this one. So no greater time than Sunday to get a back-to-back win.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, this is the furthest that any Pacers team has ever gotten in the postseason. I mean, they got beaten Game 6 in 2000. This is the first Game 7 finals history for the Pacers. I agree with the sentiment of, you know, you're going to be proud, you're going to be really happy of like the ride that they've given this entire state, that just so desperately loves and craves anything basketball. But God, it just, you want them to win so bad. You're gonna be, in a few days you'll be like, thank God that run that they gave us, and the fact that we've been able to talk about it until June 22nd is absurd. But like, it's not gonna feel right if they don't do this. They don't finish this off.
Didn't plan on this. I'll tell you that. I picked Milwaukee again. I picked Milwaukee to beat the Pacers.
Well, that
I
leads.
certainly didn't see this coming.
That kind of leads into one of my other points. Like, so I already told you guys the reasons I thought that it favors OKC. Let's talk about this one that I think favors the Pacers is that the Oklahoma or Pacers really don't have anything to lose other than the championship. But like nobody believed in them the whole time anyway. So the pressure's on Oklahoma City. If
No
Oklahoma
doubt about
City,
that.
if Oklahoma City comes through as like the greatest regular season team and the greatest team we've ever seen, and then they end up blowing it and losing this series.
Speaking of which, the last time the NBA Finals went to a Game 7, anybody know? Off the top of your head?
Was it Warriors,
It
Cavs?
was. Cavs came back to beat the Warriors from 3 games down, and that was on the road, by the way, in Golden State against a 73-win team. So one of the few teams had more regular season wins than Oklahoma City. So a lot of good trends there. Also, the Celtics did it twice in the 60s, won Game 7 on the road. The 1978 Bullets beat the Sonics, who had won 22 games in a row at home, in Game 7. And then, of course, we have the Cavs. So this will be the 20th Game 7. The visiting teams won 4. But those 4 have all proven that it can be done.
Well, and I think the other record that I saw on the TV was Oklahoma City's 18-2 after a big loss. So that's the one that
John, stop it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like
No, John, I
Debbie
agree with
Downer.
you. That's a concerning fact is how well they played after a loss, and even after a blowout loss is how well they played after that.
I don't think it's Debbie Downer. I think this is emotional like defense. I think it's my brain putting up this emotional defense, right?
I get that.
Like we're Indiana fans and Kansas City. I'm a Kansas City fan, so you kind of prepare yourself for the worst, and if it turns out good, you're happy. I do think the Pacers have a lot of positive going for them. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to bet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bet everything I have in my account on Oklahoma City to win. That way, if they lose, whatever
I hope
Pacers
you go broke.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Pacers win, I'll be happy because the Pacers win. And
John,
if they lose,
you're the best, but I hope you go broke.
I do too.
Yeah, but he still has money on the Pacers because he.
I do.
On them
I do. I could hedge at this point. Oh, but I don't want to. I don't want to hedge. I don't want to hedge.
Do not bet on the Thunder. Do not.
My rebuttal,
you will
I guess,
regret it.
to the fact of the Thunder are 18-2. Not all losses are created equal. Like tonight was like they're coming in riding high off a going up 3-2 at home. Like if you don't think in their heart they didn't want to get this done tonight, you're fooling yourself. Like they wanted this done tonight because, as we've said and as they know, anything can happen in Game 7s. Shea could bum an ankle in the first quarter and not be able to play the rest of the game. Like they want this done tonight, and they flat out got outplayed in a game that meant more to them probably than to even the Pacers. The Pacers lose tonight. It sucks. They didn't defend home court, but at the end of the day, the Pacers were down 3-2 to begin with. Like they really weren't supposed to win tonight. I just think that if you don't think that flight home to OKC, they're not going to be sitting here thinking, "Damn, we should have got this done." You're fooling yourself. That's not the mindset.
I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying I saw OKC come back from this at least twice in this very specific playoffs, or in this year's playoffs. So they have it in them to rebound and be fine. But I hope they don't. I want the Pacers to just take it home. I'm nervous.
Well, you know what I want is the Pacers haven't really they shot well in spurts tonight, but overall they didn't shoot well. It just looks like it because the Thunder shot so poorly outside of SGA and Williams, right? And then, so my thing is the Pacers are due to have a really good shooting night, and I'm hoping that happens Sunday and that the Thunder go back to back poor shooting nights. And the big key is going to be this: can the Pacers take care of and handle the Thunder, pressure and not?
And can the Thunder handle the Pacers' pressure because they didn't tonight?
I want to preface that
they did not handle that well tonight.
I would challenge, like John. I know you say emotional defense and you're feeling a little Debbie Downer. I would challenge you if go back and watch the film on that game. Oklahoma City didn't just throw the ball around. Like the Pacers forced turnovers. Like they took the ball from the Thunder a lot.
Well, and that's
With a hobbled Halliburton.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of what has been happening to us most games, because like the Pacers turnovers up until this point have been really terrible, and tonight they didn't have very many. I'm looking at the list, and they didn't have a ton at all.
Probably
4,
10,
5, 6,
maybe
7,
10,
8,
right when
9.
the game was at 10 to 12.
I think it is exactly 10. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exactly. Yeah.
A couple of those on offensive fouls too that really don't count. But
where's the? So it says that OKC had 10 Oh, wait, that's Pacers. OKC had 21 turnovers tonight.
yeah.
So that was in my notes earlier about why the Pacers were being so successful, is they were taking care of the ball. They were taking care of the ball. They were hustling on rebounds. They were making sure to get the rebounds. Like the stuff we've been saying the whole time, they did tonight.
The 50-50 balls were 80-20 Pacers tonight. I mean, they were getting what seemed like seemingly to every loose ball. They matched physicality.
If they play like they did tonight, they're champions on Sunday.
If they play like they did tonight, they win by 30 again. They win by 30 because they're not going to take the starters out. They're not going to take the starters out.
So if you asked me to guess how many points TJ had without looking at the box score, I would have guessed over what he actually scored. He
only had 14.
It looked
12.
like 30, right?
He had 12.
It seemed like 30.
Yeah, it seemed like at least 20. Like I would have guessed TJ had 20 tonight, but he had 12.
What was his efficiency with his shots? Because it felt like he did take he was a very present around the bucket tonight.
I don't know I don't see that one, but he was good. His little jump shot, his little pull up chip shot, like that thing was money tonight. We need that. I love that.
I expect you're going to get a
but
heavy dosage of him in Game 7. I think he's so far Game 5 and 6. Like he's kind of been an X factor for the Pacers. Like he's kind of been like the Thunder don't have an answer for him, and I expect him to be the first guy off the bench probably in Game 7. I just cannot watch Ben Shepherd and Tony Bradley play in Game 7.
Ben Shepherd got 7 points.
And he was...
Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry. Did
you say Terry Bradley? That's awesome.
Ben Shepherd had 7 points,
Terry Bradshaw.
2 steals, 5 rebounds. Ben Shepherd.
I know, but if we have to count on him and defensive and his fouls,
we have to count on everybody. That's what makes this team good. Everybody has to step up.
I don't want to have to count on Ben Shepherd.
But I don't want to have to count on Ben Shepherd.
Let's play 7, 8 guys on Sunday, please.
Yes, right. Sure, because that's what Oklahoma City is going to do. I mean, SGA didn't play from midway of the third quarter all the way the rest of the game. I'm guessing it's because, hey, we may need him to go 48 minutes on Sunday because it's the end of the year, and we'll rest him and let him go play 48 minutes. And I hope Carlisle has that same mentality.
I agree
with some of his starters that if it's all or nothing. So if we're not getting efficiency from the from the bench, that he just shortens it. I think TJ and
Obi.
McConnell TJ
and Obi are the two we definitely need.
Will be effective.
Obi, I had a feeling Obi was going to have a big night tonight. I don't know why, but going into the game, I'm like, Obi's going to have a good night. I just feel it, and he did. So that's good to know.
Hey, John, on the NBA Finals report, you remember how I said this game was going to go?
No.
I said it was going to go just like Game 5 of the 2000 NBA Finals, when the Jalen Rose game, when they won by 20-something, and it was exactly like it. I thought Nembhard was going to be a little bigger piece of it. I thought the Jalen Rose game from Game 5 was going to be the Aaron Nembhard game. Wasn't quite that, but he was really good to start the game. He was really good to start the game.
Yeah. Hey, I just saw your note. Yeah, I'm watching the Fever game live as we're and they are down.
So am I, John.
They're down to the Valkyrie right now, which is kind of surprising. Like the Valkyrie have to be like the biggest shocker. Not to take away from the Pacers, but the Valkyrie have to be the biggest shocker. They're an expansion team and they're playing this well.
That happens in hockey.
Real quick on that note, John, the Valkyrie already
don't
made
get me started
$55
on the
million.
Knights.
An expansion team, they've already made $55 million.
Real quick, while we're on it too, the home crowd for the Valkyries is the only home crowd that has not been for the Fever on every game I've ever watched. Like any other game I've watched with the Fever play, the home crowd wherever they are sounds like it's for Fever.
Oh yeah, and I love it. The fans on the bottom row, they are giving it to Caitlin. I mean, and I like that. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I think that's good for the home team.
In your home arena, you shouldn't have fans sitting down there cheering your opponent. They should be.
Except for in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, we need Pacers fans to show up and silence those stupid clappers.
No. I mean, guys, I don't mean that Fever fans, but I mean if they're Valkyrie fans, but on the game that they're.
I was just trying to get us back on track, Michelle. I was trying to segue back to the.
Yeah, you're damn right, John. We need to flood Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
I was just trying to, because I know that there may not be a lot of crossover on the two podcasts.
Hey guys, we are 27 minutes into this podcast, and I cannot believe I have not said this yet, but Oklahoma sucks.
We need
the state of the team.
He had a couple funny messes.
He was on one tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I just texted him to see if he was going to join us. He said he fell asleep the other night, so maybe that's the case again. But
oh man,
cannot believe it. It's going to be a great Sunday night. Who's going to Oklahoma City? Anybody
I already looked at ticket prices. I can't do it. They're salty. 1,200 is the get in right now.
Yeah.
Ask Mike Rich if it was worth 1,200.
Well, I mean, I spent over that for 2 tickets for Game 3, and it was absolutely worth it. Like, I'm so glad we went. But like, I had people offer me tickets tonight at a really good price. I mean, really good price. But like, it was still over $1,000 for 2, and I was like, I just can't rationalize doing it twice. I'm not that comfortable spending that much money on sports.
Yeah, when you sent that text out, I mean it when I really thought about texting my girlfriend and being like, hey, like, do you wanna do this? I had a few more yards left to mow.
Why did you text me to see if I wanted to do this?
Girlfriend or you, Greg? I mean, I feel like that's.
I know. That was my point. Why wouldn't you rather go with me?
The comfiest seat in the house is the couch.
So. No, listen. I'm gonna tell you the section that my friend had for sale was. I don't know if you guys have been. I don't even really want to put this on the podcast because I don't want people to know how great these seats are. It's the terrace level seating. Have you guys seen the terrace level seating? It basically feels like a suite. They've got the big comfy chairs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it's like a section, not like it's not actually a suite, but like you get chargers and a little table next to your seats and everything. Oh my God. Like we sat there for the Fever game. It was the cushiest place I've ever sat outside of a suite. It was so like those were the tickets for tonight were those. And I was like, man, I thought about it.
Couldn't pull the trigger.
No.
I had a couple friends that were, a former player, friends with that played for me back in middle school and everything. Her and her husband were at the game tonight, and I love that they were repping Reggie Miller jerseys. Her husband was wearing his Olympic team jersey, and she was wearing his Pacers jersey. And she put on, when she posted the photo, she said they were from when her husband was in elementary school, and they still fit both up.
Wow.
They're not very big, but I mean, and they looked in great condition. So, but I thought that was pretty cool.
I tried reaching out to Reggie on socials a week or so ago saying, buddy, this is the time of all times to like make your jersey available again. Cause you can't get a Reggie jersey legally through, or an official one. You got to go through some Chinese supplier or whatever now because he's made it so he can't put his name and number on stuff. I think this would be a great opportunity for him to make it so fans in the past who couldn't afford it when they were kids be able to buy a Reggie jersey now.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, he was wearing a Jalen Rose jersey tonight, which made me say, I was saying, this is going to be like the Jalen Rose game, and Reggie called it too.
But you know what? But I like it because Reggie has repped. He's not repped his own jersey at all in the NBA Finals. He's repped every one of his teammates' jerseys.
Can you? Okay, let's. Do you think that it's a little weird? Would be a little weird for him to come in his own jersey as a retired player?
He's Reggie Miller. He
No.
can do whatever he
Yes,
wants.
exactly.
He could walk in there.
No
he
one
could
would bat
walk in
an
there-
eye.
Well, I know
No one would bat an eye.
I just, as a man, I don't think I could do it. I think it'd be weird to wear my own jersey.
Yeah, I get that.
He
I
could
get
walk
it. I
in
get what
there
you're saying.
butt ass naked, and I would just say, "Hey, Reggie
Fair.
can do that.
It's Reggie's
whatever
house.
It's
It's
Yeah.
his
whatever
house.
he
He
wants
does
to
what
do."
he wants.
Okay,
Agreed.
on a real note, though, I do think it would be kind of weird if he was wearing it would be kind of like weird if he's wearing his own jersey.
But wearing a
I
Mark
would be-
I saw
Jackson
him
and
at
a
game
Jalen
in his
Rose
own,
first.
not in
Yeah.
the finals, but I've seen him at a game in his own jersey before. Now I don't know if maybe it might be he was being honored, so that's why he was in his jersey.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, I don't mean that just for Reggie. I mean that for pretty much any retired athlete. I feel
No,
like it's
for
almost
sure.
weird to wear your own jersey. But I like the way he chose to do it. I thought it was awesome that he wore Mark Jackson. Who else did he wear? I don't even remember who he wore to Game 4. But I love that he did that.
did he wear one of the Davises or who
Yes,
else was
he
it?
Yeah.
wore. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is who it was. I thought that was really cool. I tweeted that out tonight too. I thought that was really cool that he did that.
I just think it's cool. So many of the former Pacers that have come back and to
Absolutely.
be at the Fieldhouse for the games and to support the team.
It makes you proud to be a fan of this franchise. I'm meeting with Jeff Hester, who was my best Pacers friend growing up. He used to record the games for me because he had a satellite dish, and bring the games to me at school, and that's how we became friends.
On a
And he and I-
VHS tape.
on a VHS tape, and he and I are going to talk about our Pacers experiences and going to games when we were kids together and all that. I'm going to meet him tomorrow at Carmel when I go cover the Charlie Hughes Invitational, and looking forward to that. So we're gonna have at least 4 Pacers podcasts between now and the Game 7, including Will's 5 questions that need answers. I'm pretty sure most of them will be about Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, how could they not be? It's basically the only thing to talk about at this point. I mean, I would like to say while we're on the jersey talk, I'm going to kind of show my generation, but I've still got a mint condition Lance Stevenson original gold jersey sitting in the closet that I've not ever pulled out really for anything. But it might just have to be Game 7. I saw him in the building tonight. I said, it feels right that Lance Stevenson is back in the Fieldhouse. But I think tonight is if they don't do anything else, and this is it. This is the last high moment that we have this season. I think the fact that they're here, that we've been able to cover this and talk about it, is just incredible. That we've gotten this experience with really the incredible moments, unforgettable moments. There will be documentaries made about this run if they're able to finish it off. Even if they're not, it's going to become part of conversation. With that being said, the Pacers need to fucking win on Sunday. They need to win for us. They need to win for the state. They need to win for themselves. And they need to win just to prove everybody wrong who has said little to no good about the Pacers the entire year, this playoff run, tonight at the halftime show, the commentating, the officiating. Just stick it to everybody and say, you know what, we don't give a damn about what any of you think, just the guys that we have in the locker room. And I think that would make it just so special for everybody in the state.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pacers, the state of Indiana. For the Pacers with basketball, the tradition it is, they deserve a championship. I mean, I know we've got the Fever have gotten one, thankfully, but the Pacers need
And
one.
they're gonna
They had
get
the
another
NBA
one this
title.
year.
They need an NBA win. I'm looking forward to seeing how both teams come out, and I really do hope that the Pacers just take that. We're going to come out. We're going to be loose and ready because we have nothing to lose. I want them to be focused, but not tense. And they need to be a little bit nervous because, Will, I think if you're a real competitor, you're a little bit nervous, and everybody, all the great athletes and competitors will tell you need a little bit of nerves are important. And so I want them to have a little bit of that, but I do want them just to come out and with that mentality of it's us against the world. We're going to rely on each other. We're going to stay focused on us and do what we do best and just play through. And I really hope that Rick Carlisle does understand it is an all or nothing game. There's nothing after that. So, yeah, just don't worry about necessarily your rotations or who you're playing, guys, because you don't need to worry about rest because the guys are going to have a couple, 3 months off after Sunday anyway.
My final thought is I just want them to do it. I just want them to get it done. I want them to come out there. I do think it's in our favor that I just looked at the line. It's OKC minus 8.5, and the money line is Pacers plus 285. And if this team has shown anything, it's they play better when everybody doubts them. So you know what? They have the experience in Game 7s. They've had a lot of tough ones. I think they're going to shatter OKC's record of coming back to get the win. I'm just going to say they're going to do it. Pacers are going to do it. We're gonna get the dub. I'm gonna get invested and emotionally believe. Let's get ready to celebrate on Sunday.
I can't believe it's here, Susie. 1 game away. The Indiana Pacers are 1 game away officially from an NBA championship for the first time in franchise history. We are saying those words after being a fan of this franchise for more than 45 years. Not just my favorite NBA team, but my favorite team of all teams. And it's almost here. As Pacers fans, we've experienced almost everything. But we haven't experienced this for the first time. Pacers ever in a Game 7 of an NBA Finals. Cannot wait. We're going to have at least 4 Pacers podcasts between now and then, including Will Rutherford's 5 questions that need answers, Mike Rich's Pacers report, John Robertson's NBA Finals report, and a special, as I think I alluded to, a special podcast with my oldest Pacers friend, Jeff Hester, who used to record the games for me because he had a satellite, and that's how we became friends. So we're going to talk about that as well as I go tomorrow to Carmel to watch some basketball. Thank you so much to Mike, John, Michelle, and Will for all that they do for the podcast. And thank you for listening. Please share this podcast with your friends and family, and as producer Susie says, with strangers and even your enemies. If you don't like the podcast, then definitely share it with your enemies. Right? We got 35 seconds till. What do you want to say?
How many times have you said, I love Susie more, but I've loved the Pacers longer?
I've told that story a lot of times.
Yeah.
I definitely love you more than the Pacers, but I have definitely loved the Pacers longer than I've loved you.
I'm okay with that.
14 years at least. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie. And I love you, Indiana Pacers.
Don't let us down.
Don't let us down.